up, you sexy fuckers? Welcome back to the Beers. Deers podcast. As always, the guillotine. Looking like Crocodile Dundee over there.
Crikey, mate.
Daddy Rambo! Coming back at you. What's happening?
I'm like a fat chick at prom, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's fucking 1 month till deer season.
Yeah, how many days we got?
Let me see.
34? Is that right?
33 or 34.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is 33 days till deer season here in Maryland. And if you're anywhere else, it doesn't really matter a whole lot.
Yeah, no.
Greatest state in the union.
33 days.
33 days, and it will be glorious.
Hopefully it will.
Oh, it will be.
Hopefully I have a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did we talk about that last week on the podcast?
No,
Do you remember?
It happened after.
Oh, yeah. We were shooting.
Yeah.
So, why don't you give me a rundown?
Well, I came over that Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. It was one of them days. And I was trying to get the old Boski tuned in, get the right sight tape on it. And I probably sent 10 arrows through it. And then you went inside to do something. And I drew back and I almost went into the valley. And it was like a gunshot went off. And I let down real slow. And I'm looking at the bow. I'm like, what the hell happened here? I don't even know what happened. And everything looked fine. The string was still on. The cables were still on. And I go to knock another arrow and send another one down range. I'm like, man, let me look over this a little bit more. And I'm looking at the cables. And the Hoyt Helix has a yoke system compared to your binary cam system. And it has a yoke splitter. It's just a little piece of plastic. That thing grenaded. Shot off into the ether somewhere, and my cables almost severed completely in two.
Yeah. And so I was looking online, and apparently, like, it's I don't want to say it's common, but it happens quite a bit.
Yeah,
it does happen. So yeah. There's a good bit of information about it online. I mean, I guess eventually that piece just goes.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling you earlier, I probably have 10,000 shots through the fucking thing, and finally it just gave up the ghost.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You would think that when you replace your cables, like, well, then again, if you're getting aftermarket cables, it would be from, it wouldn't be from Hoyt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You'd think it'd be an easier thing to get too, because you can't find it online.
Yeah, and I took the bow to Autumn Sky, and it's been there for a week, 2 weeks. Same called Wednesday, and they said they're still 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
So if that rings true, I'll get it back with 2 weeks left before deer season.
Which is not ideal.
Cutting it close.
Yeah.
Cutting it real close.
But, I mean, you're pretty much all ready other than your bow. So, I mean, you just shoot a lot leading up until deer season, and you'll be good. You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
You know? I can only imagine what it feels like not having your weapon.
Yeah.
When we're this close to season.
You know, it's in a strange place. It's probably sad. It's wondering where I am.
It's lonely.
Yeah. It's like, where's Dad? This is not my place. It's hurt.
Yeah, probably afraid, you know.
God.
It's longing for your embrace.
I want to cry. I do. The lady killers. But it's going to have new cables, even though the cables are already new. And I'm going to order a spare set off eBay, just in case that little bugger wants to grenade again.
Yeah.
You'd think that somebody would have made like an aftermarket steel one. I don't know if that would slow the bow down. I don't know. But it just seems silly to have all that energy hinging on a piece of plastic.
Yeah. I mean, how much energy is really being applied to that piece, though? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Could be a pretty significant amount. And like we were saying, obviously this has been an issue in the past with other people. or not necessarily in the past, but recently.
Yeah.
So, and it makes me wonder if that's why they went to the binary cam system with the new Ventum series bows. Makes you wonder. Because the binary cams are definitely harder to tune.
Yeah.
But you don't have that issue. So it's I mean, you pick your poison.
I was talking to you. I was like, I wonder if I could switch my Helix over to a binary cam system.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if anybody's ever danced with that idea.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Like, you could probably just buy HBX cams and then get, like, Ventum strings. Yeah. And it should work. Or you might have to get, like, custom strings made. I don't know. Because your axle to axle might be different than a Ventum.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what your axle to axle is on a Helix?
29.5 is ringing something in my head. I don't know if that's right or not.
That might be it.
I don't know. But yeah, not ideal time for that to happen. But it could have happened at a worse time.
Mm-hmm.
Could have happened October 30th.
Now, what are you going to do? What would you do if that did happen October 30th and they're like, here's 4 weeks out on a bow?
Buy a new bow. Sorry, dear.
Sorry, honey.
No, I mean, I'd buy a new bow and shoot it until I got my bow back and sell one of them and recoup most of my money.
Right. That's the move.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'd make more by selling the brand new one, because you could buy a brand new bow and sell it for almost the same price you got it for.
What would you put through it? 100 shots?
Right.
And you could sell it for $100 cheaper, probably.
Yep.
And
somebody buy it.
You'd be out nothing.
Yeah.
But that would have to be it.
Yeah. Because I'm not missing the fucking first couple weeks of November. Or November, period. I'm not missing it.
Yeah. You would miss November.
Yeah.
Flat out.
If you're something like that happened in end of October, unless you could find parts like local or something like that, yeah. And I'd do the same thing.
Which it's not a thing. Like, people don't just carry strings. I called the biggest pro shop on the East Coast is in the world, Lancaster Archery. They don't have them. They don't have them in stock.
Well, they do carry some strings, but I think mostly what it is people that order strings and then don't show up.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, shit, the strings are the wrong color or something,
When I called up there Friday, they said they have crossbow strings and cables.
Okay.
So, but they don't have compound bows or strings and cables, unlike what you're saying, like somebody didn't pick them up.
Wow, okay. Yeah, because I remember the Ventum, they gave me those red strings.
Yeah, they probably just had them laying around.
Somebody ordered the wrong ones or something.
But you'd think they would just keep a fucking plethora.
You would think.
Of just, black.
Yeah.
Gray.
Black, like a set of black strings and cables for pretty much every mainstream bow. That way, if something like that happens, somebody breaks their string, they can get a replacement. They don't have to wait fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because that sucks. And honestly, it makes me think about buying an extra set of strings and just sitting on them until eventually I'll replace them and I'll put them on. But it'd be nice to just have them in case something like that ever happens, And
the worst thing is, you have to go through a dealer. Well, for gas, you don't have to, but it's going to be 6 fucking months. Maybe not that long.
6 weeks or something.
6 weeks compared to a dealer's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What the heck? That doesn't make any sense.
What's that? Yeah, what is that all about?
I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I feel like it's like a fraternity or something. It's like you have to be on the end to get the good shit.
The benefits.
Yeah, the benefits.
Yeah, get fucked. That is bullshit. I don't know. That's what I think. It wouldn't be worth it. Like, I want to see, because I'm going through some tuning shit with my bow too, and I'll tell you about that. I told you a little bit. What we talked about before we started recording is I had to shim my cams, but I had to order this piece for the HBX cam system, the new cam system on the Ventums. You have to shim your cams as opposed to the split yoke like yours. You have to twist your yoke to adjust your yoke or your timing and stuff like that. Not your timing.
Side to side.
Yeah, your side to side movement. So with the HBX cams, they sell this little tool, and it's only like $20. It sucks you have to buy, but you could do it without the tool too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have the tool, but you do have to have these shims. and I think the shim kit was like $40. But it came with like 1,000 fucking shims.
There's
So,
like different
sizes.
thickness of washers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're little spacers and each of them are different. And if you want to, say you are trying to paper tune your bow, and this was the issue that I was having. See, I knew that my bow was slightly out of paper tune when I went to the tack, but I wasn't that concerned about it because it was just, I had a slight knock right tear, but it was slight. Bow was shooting good, walk back tune great, so I wasn't too concerned. But the issue that I was having, and anybody listening, if you're having this issue, this very well could be why. If you have a slight tear or bad tear on paper, and you're shooting fine with field points, and then you try to shoot with broadheads, the issue is going to rear its ugly head. It's going to be significantly worse. And that was the problem I was having. I was getting my field point was shooting great, but I stick a broadhead on there, and it's 6 inches to the left.
Sure.
And that was with every broadhead I tried, except for Schwackers, because they're fucking field points.
Yeah.
But it was just irking me knowing that I had this issue, so I needed to get it fixed. And I wanted to be able to shoot fixed blade broadheads too, because I want to shoot these QAD Exodus that I have. So I ordered the spacer tool and the spacer kit, and it actually it's pretty cool, shimming the cams, and it's very easy to do.
What does it do? Do they like slide over the axle
So this
into
little
the cam?
slide over.
I don't know how that works.
So there's a shaft
Ooh.
that slides. It
God.
goes through the center of your cam, and there's like a little bearing in it. That's how your cam rotates. So the tool has a little rod on there, and it's got these 2 clips on each end. So you take the clip off, the retainer ring off the end of your shaft, and then you use the tool to push the shaft in. And then you use the other end of the tool to clip onto the spacer, take it out, and you can put a new spacer in. And basically you just push it through and change spacers on each side. And you shim it the way that you want your arrow to go.
Yeah.
So like if you're getting a knock right tear, you're going to shim your cam to the right.
To straighten that cam up a little bit.
Right. And what that will do is it will bring your string over, so it's going to bring the rear of the arrow over, adjusting your flight. And once you then I got a good paper tear, and I tuned it back from there, resighted it and everything, and I just got all that done. So it was a bit of a pain in the ass, but now my broadheads are flying good. So
Are they flying good though?
yes, yeah.
Is that what you're going with this year? Exodus, Q80 Exodus?
Yeah, well, so
Dude, I'm up in the air. I still don't know what I'm shooting.
yeah, it's see, I mean, it's the age-old debate of mechanical versus fixed blade, and there's a great benefit to both of them, and I feel like we go back and forth on this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm an indecisive motherfucker, so I have 5 QAD Exodus broadheads and 2 Schwackers, so I'm gonna shoot them. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna waste my money, but I've been watching this broadhead test dude on YouTube. It's Lusky Archery, I believe it is.
I can look him up real quick.
Check that guy's channel out. He does a really comprehensive broadhead test, and it's great. And he even like scores them and everything. And the QAD got a really good score. But the one I'm looking at that I think I'm going to go with once I shoot these broadheads is the Sever, SEVR 2.0, or even the 1.5. But man, they fucking stuck in this concrete block that he shot, and they went through like 55 layers of cardboard. It's a Lusk, Lusk Archery Adventures.
Yep.
And he does a great broadhead test. He shoots them through cardboard, he tests their sharpness, he shoots them through ballistic gel to test the penetration, all kinds of stuff. And those Sever are mechanical, and they're a lot like, they look like Schwackers, and they look like a field point, but the Schwacker is a
Front deploy.
which I really didn't like because it doesn't cut a whole lot on the way in, and the Sever does.
It's a rear deploy.
It's like a rear deploy, like a Rage, so it gives you a better hole going through it. Not only that, but like, you know how the Rage, like once they open, and the same thing with the Schwacker, the blades you can like push in
Like
from side to side.
and shit.
These lock when they shoot, so that even inside it's going to remain fully opened. And not only do they lock, but they can swivel from side to side.
Like around a rib.
So, yes, if it hits like a shoulder, the left blade will tuck in, and the right blade will then stick all the way out the other side. So it enables it to move more freely through the body like that. I think that's fucking awesome. And not only that, but for a mechanical broadhead, this thing stuck completely in the fucking concrete that he shot. So I think it would stand up pretty well to a shoulder blade even. It's just it's a well-made broadhead. Pricey. They're $15 a piece. You buy them singles.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah. You can buy one. You're not stuck with the 3-pack.
Yeah. Like I might just buy one and see how I like it.
That's a good idea.
$15, whatever. Buy one. But so I really think I'm gonna go with those next. But I think like we talk about, we've went over this so many times. It really, if you make a good shot, you've got a dead animal.
Yeah.
So I think whatever broadhead you go with is going to work as long as you make good shots. Some are more forgiving than others in certain areas. Some make better blood trails. Some will punch through bone better. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's all in your shot placement. And I think the QAD Exodus is a great broadhead. I think Schwacker's a great broadhead. And I'm going to use them both. And I'm going to shoot them both a little differently. I'm going to be more concerned about hitting shoulder with a Schwacker than I would be with a QAD. With a Schwacker, I'm going to aim for double lung. For a QAD, I'm aiming for heart.
Yeah, stick a little closer to that leg bone.
Yeah, I'm not worried. If I hit a little bit of bone with that QAD, I'm pretty sure I'm going to punch through enough of it to get the job done. But I don't want to hit far back because it doesn't leave a gaping wound and it doesn't make the best blood trails, as opposed to a Schwacker does.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking I was gonna go with originally a G5 Mega Meat 2-inch 3-blade, and then you saw the review that guy did on them, and they weren't exactly very good on penetration.
No, not great on penetration, and that thing literally was wrecked.
Yeah.
From shooting at the. I don't even think it was the concrete. I think he shot it at wood, and it just completely destroyed the broadhead.
Yeah.
So I wasn't real. They didn't test very well on his test scale.
I don't know. And I didn't have the best of luck with fixed blades last year.
Yeah, you weren't real happy with your blood trails, correct?
I know there was nil.
Yeah.
And I probably shot 70% of the deer I killed last year in the heart.
Yeah.
And they were nil.
Yeah.
No, I did watch them drop. I watched every single one of them. Well, except for the first one, that was a bad shot. But every other deer, I watched it drop.
Yeah. Which is always nice. But if that didn't happen,
you'd
have been stuck with a fucking shitty blood trail to trail.
Yeah. So that's why I was thinking mechanicals this year. And I would love to shoot Schwackers, but I don't like the front deploy shit. Because you get a little tiny 1-inch hole in the opening or the entry, and say it doesn't exit. Yeah. Then what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you got to worry about that with 80 pounds, though.
That's another thing I was thinking about. Does it really fucking matter?
You're gonna punch through everything you shoot. Yeah. You're gonna get a pass through unless you hit the fucking shoulder. So, I mean, I had great success with Schwacker.
Yeah.
I think they're great broadheads. I really do. As long as you don't hit bone.
And then I was thinking the G5 Montec. It's just a solid broadhead. You don't have removable blades, so if you shoot an animal, it goes in the dirt, you just resharpen it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been pondering on this for weeks, and I still don't know. I was even thinking about rage there for a second.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind.
If you're gonna shoot a mechanical, man, I really think you should just get either a Schwacker or try that severed out.
Yeah.
I mean, they work. They work great. And I think anything that Mega Meat would probably work great too. But I just, when you see that test, it makes you well, why would I go with one that doesn't do that, doesn't hold up that well? You know what I mean? Why not just get a better one, especially when the price is all about the same?
And the sever, you can lock the sever too, right?
Yep. You can shoot it like a field point too, which is really cool. I think that just watching his test with that thing and how well they performed, dude, it sold me.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll go with.
I mean, the features are great. The blades are very sharp. They can lock, so you can shoot them as practice points. You can shoot the actual point you're shooting, and it's not going to dull it. You know what I mean? So it remains sharp, and it's nice, man. They make good broadheads. They're pretty sweet. Money, 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 money.
Yeah. There's so many options out there. It's so hard.
Yeah. That's... You can bow hunt cheap, you know what I mean? Or you could fucking spend millions of dollars on this hobby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it like, people literally do that. They buy these properties and fucking, the people you see on the fucking Outdoor Channel have these extravagant properties and food plots and all this stuff. Or you can do it pretty fucking run-of-the-mill cheap, buy cheap broadheads, and you can go out in public land and get it done.
Stroke a button buck.
Yeah. It all depends, honestly, on the amount of work that you want to put into it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend a lot of money, then it's going to take a lot of time, and an effort. If you have got a fucking $1 million to dump into a property and you can put a bunch of feeders out, you ain't got to spend a whole lot of time doing it. You can have it all set up for you.
I wish. I was really trying to win that fucking $1 billion lottery.
Did you play?
No.
Yeah.
So I wanted to. I was dreaming about what me and Sam were gonna buy if we won, but we didn't even play. So.
Yeah.
And the numbers I was gonna pick anyway weren't even fucking close. So.
No. 6'9", 6'9", 6'9", 6'9".
Exactly.
This fucking white trash motherfucker. Yeah. Man. So, that fucking saddle, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think I talked about this last week, but I've been fucking around with this one stick method. Oh, man. For a little bit, I was like kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say I was checking out of the saddle, but I was like, man, there's no way I'm going to be able to climb as quickly as I could with my climber. Like, my climber is just way more efficient than these sticks. You know what I mean? And I mean, I thought it was cool. I liked using the sticks and stuff like that, but there was no way it would ever be as fast as I can haul ass in that climber.
Yeah. And
it just, even if I got good with those sticks, it would never be as quick. Now, of course, I could hunt trees that I couldn't hunt with my climber, so there was a benefit there, but that was really the only benefit. Like, it would still be just as cumbersome. I've got all these sticks I'm fighting with, and I'm climbing, and like, it was almost like, unless there's like a specific tree that I want to climb that I can't use my climber on, this really isn't gonna do it for me. So I was like, well, let me try this one stick thing with an 8er. It looks like, honestly, at first glance, I looked at it and I was like, well, that just looks like a bunch of work, and it's gonna slow you down going up the tree.
When you say 8er, what the hell is that?
An 8er is basically a little rope ladder that hangs off the bottom of a stick. Okay. And it's the one I got has 3 steps to it. So, and I don't know why they're called 8ers. Maybe because they're aiding you in climbing. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I was thinking like 8.
AIDER is how it's spelled. Okay. So, excuse me. So, I got this 3-step 8er on my stick, and at first glance, and this is what I thought just by like watching. I was like, it looks like one stick, and there's a whole lot to it. Like, it looks so complicated, and it's like it's going to take you forever to climb up the tree. I can't imagine that being a better option than just using sticks. But the thing that I didn't account for was when you're climbing in with sticks, you've got fucking 4 sticks in this pack, and you're hanging off the side of the tree, and you're strapping this one on, and then you climb up, and you take another one out, and you strap this one on. There's a lot to it, and there's a lot of moving parts. You've got a lineman's belt, you've got your tether, you've got fucking your sticks and your straps, and you've got all this shit, and it's just like, fuck that. And so the simplicity of the one stick actually ended up being not what I expected. I just didn't expect it to be so simple. I thought it would be more complicated, but it's really not. Mm-hmm. Because I don't use a lineman's rope at all, and I just basically strap this stick on as high as I can reach it, the first step, climb up, I put my my tether on the tree, so I'm tied off, and I swing off to the side, grab it, put it up higher, tie it off again, climb up, and I do that to whatever height I want. I can go as high as I want. I can go as high as my bow hoist will go, you know.
Yeah, that's the one thing I said. We were out there practicing today with the Dvorak's, and I was like, the good thing about that is you can go, there's no limit.
Yeah.
Except, your bowstring.
Mm-hmm.
And how high the fucking tree is.
Yep.
But with a climber, you can only get in it with so much of an angle.
Right. And eventually, it's going to be pulling down, and you'll have to adjust it, which is fine. I can adjust it, no problem. But I really like the simplicity of the setup. Like, I'm taking one stick and the platform.
Yeah.
And my bow.
I was so confused about how one sticking was going to operate. But then I seen that you had that aider on there, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of need the aider. I mean, you could do it without it, but...
That would take forever.
Yeah, that'd be a long climb.
Yeah.
But, like, we videotaped me, and I was in no hurry. I was taking my time, and with the setup at the base of the tree and everything, it was like 8 minutes for me to get like 25 feet up.
And we will post that.
Yeah, definitely. I got to make sure I look good first, but...
You look phenomenal.
Oh, thank you, dude. Wait till I get done this podcast. I'm coming over there.
But yeah, I thought it was, and you were explaining it and everything. And you asked me a couple times if I wanted to try it, and I said absolutely fucking not. No thanks.
So you don't have any interest in trying it out?
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
a little bit.
A tickle, but I had shorts on today.
Yeah.
No
thanks.
thanks.
That's the thing. Like, you're kind of straddling that tree at times.
Yeah.
So it definitely wouldn't be a shorts thing.
If I had pants, I probably would have tried, but
yeah,
no.
It's really not as hard as what I got to get used to is like trusting that saddle.
Yeah.
Like, man, when I'm 25, 30 feet up in that tree and I'm leaning out into that saddle, I'm like, because you're leaning backwards. So like, dude, if that thing like just didn't work, you're falling like flat on your back from 30 feet. Like, oh, you're fucking paralyzed.
That's why I thought you were a lunatic when you cut off your lanyard.
Yeah.
Now you only got one thing holding you there.
Yep. The saddle.
I wouldn't have.
They sell saddles without leg straps.
That's silly.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't like that. Maybe I'll get there, but I'm not that comfortable with them yet. So that's another thing, and I'll probably make a video on that too, so people can see that, because I think that's a valuable thing. I bought the XOP saddle, and it came with this platform. Well, I modified the fuck out of that saddle. I cut the harness lanyard off because I'm not going to use it like a harness. I cut some of the leg strap off. I cut all the straps shorter and burned them. Cut the chest straps shorter and burned it. And basically, I got a pretty decent saddle and a platform for $200. You know what I mean? Like the XOP saddle ain't bad. Now, would I like one that like a trophy line or something? Yeah, I'll probably eventually get a better one. But it's a pretty sweet setup. I mean, I have no issues with it.
What's the difference?
Well, you can adjust your like where you clip in on your on your hips, so you get more like comfort. You can adjust it. It's more adjustable. Like some of these other saddles have those options.
But is it really worth the fucking
$230?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not.
No, because it's pretty comfortable. I mean,
we were pricing those out last year? Who was it? Tethered?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
$500.
expensive.
$500. But see, now with the XOP, you get all the ropes and shit that you need. So I have all that stuff. So now if I wanted to get a different saddle, all I got to buy is the saddle.
Yeah.
Which is $200.
I don't see it.
But you can buy the XOP and you get all the ropes and the platform and the saddle for $200. And the ropes are actually pretty decent. The ropes that they give you are nice. They're good ropes. So, I mean, I already have nice climbing carabiners. I'm fucking set, man. And I probably won't buy another saddle. And if I do, it'll be purely luxury.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that saddle. It's comfortable.
Well, when you buy a new saddle,
I'll throw you the XOP.
And that's when I'll start saddle hunting.
Yeah. Because I got an extra set of sticks. Did I tell you about that?
I think you did, yeah. I don't think you went into detail.
Yeah, so I bought XOP climbing sticks too, and they're coming in a 4-pack. Great sticks. A little heavy. And there's a million different options out there with sticks, but I went with them because they go with the platform and the system, so it was just what I went with. But I ordered them on Amazon, and my fucking package didn't show up. So I messaged Amazon, and I was like, hey, dude, my package didn't show up. I want a replacement. They sent me a replacement, and I got fucking 2 packages.
Hell yeah.
So I got 8 sticks. So I've got a literally brand new in the box set of 4 XOP sticks. So if you want to dive into it, I gotcha. So really all you need is a saddle.
Okay.
And that way, like,
and a platform.
Yeah, you don't need a platform. You can hunt off, but it would be way more comfortable. Yeah.
I don't want those steps digging in the middle of my feet for fucking 4 hours.
So if you spent the I think it's like $199 for the XOP system, you could just buy a platform and I'll buy a saddle. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But if you wanted to get into saddle hunting, I got 4 sticks for you, and all you would need to buy is the XOP saddle and platform for $200.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
We'll see how this season goes for you and Ryan.
If we were talking about him, and I'm just as much of a fucking idiot as he is. He sent us this video where he climbed up in his climber with his saddle on. I can't even keep a straight face. And he's like, this is completely useless. He's like, why did I ever think that using a climber with my saddle would be like a good combination? He's like, I'm in my fucking climber. I might as well just sit down.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, you're in your climber, just sit in your fucking climber.
Yeah. He was like, dude, I could use my climber with the saddle. And
you co-signed it.
And I co-signed it. Yeah.
Like,
I was like, yeah, dude, that's a great best of both worlds. No, you're in your fucking tree. It's the worst of both worlds, actually, because you're limited to the tree you can use because you're using a fucking climber. And then you're just up in your tree with this shitty harness on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we are idiots.
Yeah.
We are idiots. It sounded good.
It sounded great.
Yeah.
But it didn't perform.
No. It's like, dude, I'm in my climber. Why not just sit down and fucking hunt out of my climber? I got a giant platform. Why would I put a saddle on and stand on my seat? I mean, I guess if you wanted to, like, shoot behind you, but you can shoot behind you pretty easy. Yeah. It makes no sense. Yeah. We're idiots. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, don't do that, though. Speaking of Ryan, I think he sabotaged my bow.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan?
He was like, you know what? I'm tired of this motherfucker killing all these deer.
Yeah. Because he was over there. He was gawking at it.
Mm-hmm. He was looking at the lady killer. And then Ryan leaves, and all of a sudden...
Next day...
Your bow disintegrates.
Yeah.
And he disappears to Hawaii. Coincidence?
I think not.
I think not.
Ryan, you some bitch.
Ryan is in Hawaii on his honeymoon right now, living it up, man. Looks sweet out there. I hope you guys enjoy your honeymoon, Krista and Ryan. Congratulations to you two. You deserve it.
Do they? Just kidding. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It looked from the snaps he was sending us. It looks beautiful out there.
Yes, it does. Man, I'd love to go to Hawaii and hunt axis.
Yeah. Lanai.
Yeah. He was saying it's like $5,000. Yeah. Like to pay the outfitter and everything. Like that's not counting your like
plane out there.
Yeah, none of that. He's like, I think it was $4,000 or $4,000 to $5,000 to hunt axis out there. And I don't know, maybe there was like, that was just the one he was looking at. Maybe there's cheaper options. I don't know.
Yeah, there are. Texas.
Yeah, Texas. I would like to shoot axis though.
Hell yeah.
We ought to do that one of these years is go out to Texas.
Fairly cheap down in Texas.
Yeah.
To shoot axis deer.
And you can hunt hog there. Like, dude, it's good whitetail down there. Texas is the shit.
Texas is a target-rich environment. Mm-hmm. I want to go to Texas. I love Texas, period.
Yeah, I don't like North Texas.
Yeah, Amarillo.
It's a shithole. Dump. Beautiful women, though. I'll leave that alone.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I like South Texas. But I haven't been to, like, East or West Texas. I've been to, like, Galveston and shit down south. And that was beautiful. Awesome place. But I did not like Amarillo. Yeah, but I've never hunted there. Like I don't know how the hunting is in the Panhandle, but there might be some decent hunting out there. I don't know.
I think all the hunting is in like San Antonio area.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like west, the hill country.
Yeah. I mean, and it looks beautiful. I'd love to go. It's on my bucket list is to hunt Texas. I want to hunt Texas. I want to hunt everywhere.
Yeah.
But Texas is like pretty high up. Like it's pretty much after we kill some sika, I'd really like to get onto some elk, and then Texas is probably next for me.
What is your number one?
I want to kill bull elk.
Yeah, that's your number one?
Yeah. Dude, a fucking just monster bull elk.
Just screaming
through the woods. And
jizzing all over himself.
Just that's a terrible sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, dude, that's as good as it gets. What about you?
My number one is Iowa whitetail.
Whitetail, really?
Yeah.
You don't want to jump outside that box, huh?
Of course, I would love to shoot a bull elk, but my number one is Iowa whitetail.
Yeah. No, probably never do it.
No, absolutely not. It's too much money.
Tags are fucking...
You never get drawn.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, fucking Iowa, man. It's a fucking great state to kill some big bucks.
It's the Mecca.
Yeah. I mean,
they have such a great management program out there.
Yeah.
That's why the deer, and it's just a different subspecies of whitetail, is why they get so fucking big.
Yes. And a lot of people don't know that. But there's several subspecies of whitetail throughout the U.S. You know what I mean? And that's like, there's this fucking Facebook group where they're like, it's like a bow hunters league, and the most like, it's 3 guys in a team, and whatever, you add up the gross of your antlers. You each get a buck to enter, and you add it up, and then that's your score for the team. Oh. And it's like, that's cool and all, but like, as Maryland guys, like, we got no chance against dudes in fucking Illinois, you know what I mean, or Iowa, you know, like, our deer just don't get that big. Like, at least not now. They can, but it's very rare, you know.
Yeah, like the one deer I got on camera, that is a fucking freak. I wouldn't call him a freak. He's a hammer.
He's a great buck.
Yeah, that's like they're letting that walk.
Yeah, out there. Yeah, he's a 150-inch whitetail. But if you're in fucking Iowa, shit, you might let him walk, dude. Like, and I've listened to guys like that Mark Kenyon dude. I think it was Mark Kenyon. I think he let a 140-inch whitetail walk out there.
Oof.
And it's like, I get it because you know that's really not that big of a deer for there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But for here, dudes, nobody's letting a 140-inch whitetail walk in the state of Maryland. You're not doing it. And if you are, you must have a hell of a lot of land and you're managing it really well.
This deer I got on camera. It's the biggest deer I've ever had on camera.
Yeah.
It'll be the biggest deer I've ever seen in person. If I see him.
He's a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
He's a fucking hammer. The only deer that either of us have ever seen bigger was the one at the Airs, the buck I shouldered.
Son of a bitch.
I know. God. He'd have been up there in, like, Maryland records. Like, he wouldn't have won, but he'd have been...
Top 10, probably.
Close to it, yeah. I mean, fuck, I fucked that up.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah. God damn it. That still bothers me, dude.
I bet.
It still bothers me. It's like the image of him when he got out into that cornfield
and looked back at
me. It is like burned into my memory. It gives me chills, man. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Every deer I've lost, it still kills me. I hate it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate. And that's why I'm so up in the air about broadheads. I want the best for these animals. I don't want any more pain that's already going to come to them.
Yeah.
I want the best, and I don't know what the best is. I would love to know.
Yeah. And it's almost like there's no right or wrong answer.
That's exactly what it is.
It's so fucking hard because we want this shot to be perfect, and it's never going to be perfect, but we want our chances to be the highest percentage of success and likelihood for a quick death that we can give ourselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's what makes it so hard to make these choices. You know what I mean? And what broadhead you use, or how heavy your arrow is going to be. Do I want more forgiveness, or do I want more punch and pack power behind my arrow? You know, that's what makes all this stuff so hard. And I don't think any of it's wrong. I think it's just preference, really. And I think it all works. But what works the best? Really works the best.
We need somebody out there, maybe it could be us, to just zone in. But how do you do it? I don't know.
You'd have to kill a lot of deer with one method and really try it and really put time into, like, say you shoot nothing but super heavy arrows, and you need to shoot like 50 deer and see how well it worked. And then you'd have to shoot 50 deer with a really fast arrow and see how well it worked, and then compare the two. Because without real world, I'm not talking about what it does to a target or any of that bullshit.
Ballistics gel or a concrete block.
Because it's not the same. I want to see how it performs real world. And so unless you can kill that many animals and to test it like that, like, you really can't get a definitive answer in what's better. And in order to do that, it's going to take a really long time. Unless you're Kevin Dvorak. You could do it in 2 years.
Would that even be a legit test, though? Because you would have to hit them in the same spot every single time.
You have to have the human error effect of it. Is you made a bad shot. It wasn't the arrow that fucked it up, which I think most of the time it is. But Yeah, so it's like, can this ever really be answered, these questions?
I don't think so, and that's what's fucking killing me. I don't know.
Yeah, and in theory, if you could make a perfect shot every time, I guess it really wouldn't matter what setup you use, whether it's fast and light or heavy and slow or
It wouldn't matter.
mechanical or fixed. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as you can make a great shot, which is why we always go back to practice and being the best archer you can be. And mindset, you know what I mean? Being prepared for this stuff like Ryan was talking about, man. You have to be able to perform at crunch time. You have to be able to make that good shot. You have to be able to think about everything while you're there and not get so wrapped up in the moment and not let that animal throw you off your game. And that can be really hard to do, and I think that takes time.
It does take time. It takes time. It takes animals under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I just now, I think I already said this, I just now have gotten to the point where I remember everything about the shot and the harvest.
I think that I have as well, just recently. But sometimes I still don't. I still have like certain times where I get real wrapped up in the moment. And I got to remind myself, like, dude, be present, be here. You know what I mean? Pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you execute a good shot. Because I still struggle with it. If I told you that I didn't, I'd be lying. Because there's definitely times where I let just the emotions and the intensity of the moment get the best of me, and I fuck up. But I think the more opportunities that I have, the better I'm getting at that and performing better. And I really think I feel a lot more confident than I did, say, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, when I have a deer in front of me. Like now, I'm not like, oh man, fucking don't fuck this up. You know what I mean? I'm more like, oh yeah, baby, you're done. You know what I mean? I've just got a lot more confidence now than I used to. And that just takes time.
Yeah, like I'm not saying if that buck walks out in front of me opening day, probably not going to remember any of that. No. And I'm just hoping my muscle memory and my training just kicks in and takes over.
Exactly. And that's, you like to think and there's a term, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. Mm-hmm. And that is 100% truth. Yeah. Like, you are not going to just rise to the occasion when the deer rolls in front of you. No, you're going to fall to the level of your training. And if you trained really well and you fucking practice, you can make a good shot.
God. I hope he walks out in front of me. Good God. That would be I don't even know what I would do. What the hell could be done?
You deserve it, man. You busted your ass, and you've killed some great bucks, but that would be your biggest by far, by 20 inches.
I was telling Sam this, like, if I were to shoot that deer, what's next after that?
Well, do you think if you killed a 150, say he's 155, a 155-inch whitetail, you think you're not going to get super pumped about a 130?
Always chasing that dragon. Always chasing that dragon.
You want bigger? Yeah. But you don't think you would... So you got a 130-something inch whitetail upstairs. If you had a 130-inch whitetail walk out in front of you, you wouldn't shoot it?
Of course. Obviously. But...
You'd still want a bigger one.
Yeah. You're chasing that fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Like that 8-pointer I was showing you guys, you and Ryan and Sam last podcast. Ryan was like, man, that's a nice fucking buck. And I'm like, not really. Uh-huh. Because I know what I have upstairs.
Right.
And it's just... And I hate to be like that. I hate it.
Yeah. I think it's normal, though.
Yeah.
I mean...
I wish it wasn't.
Yeah. Because then it gets so much harder to achieve what you're after. Yeah. But that's kind of the natural order of things, Like you
get numb.
I don't want to say numb, but you want more. Like, like you want improvement. We always want to do better. Like I want to do better than I did last year. You know what I mean? And eventually, that's going to start getting really hard to do.
It's real hard right now.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard now, dude. It's hard killing a fucking Pope and Young. I mean, get fucked. But
like sticking a doe, like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking awesome.
Love it.
But it doesn't have the same luster that it did
10 years ago. Yeah, I agree. But I still fucking love doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love shooting does. I stack does, son. You know, like
Kevin's cooler is in for it this year.
we're gonna put a hurt on that thing, Kevin. Kevin puts a hurting on that thing all by himself. Him and Brandy. But yeah, opening day.
33 days.
So close.
A month, just a tickle over a month.
Now, let me ask you this. You've got that fucking hammer on camera. Opening day, you go sit, you're going after him, right?
Yeah.
First light. I mean, just barely first light. A fucking Boone and Crockett doe steps out. You gonna ice her?
See, this is the conundrum, because it's early season. You can't just stick her and let her lay.
If you could stick her and let her lay, obviously, I would stick her and just sit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see what his pattern looks like as we get closer to opening day, and that's when I'll make my decision.
Yeah.
I'll make my decision September 8th.
Yeah. Because really, it's going to be a game time decision, because you can say whatever the fuck you want when you got that dough standing in front of you.
Just rolling.
Waterboarding. Yeah, you're salivating like Pavlov's dog up there, dude. Just fucking. I think you're going to have a real hard time not shooting that dough. I think you could do it if you really set your mind to it, and it'd probably be the move to let her walk. But man, that's going to be tough after all this time off. Having this fucking beautiful doe in front of you. That's why.
Fucking booner doe.
Yeah. That's why it almost wouldn't be a bad idea for you to go to port.
What?
Oh, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. That may end up being an issue. I'm gonna have to cut this fucking.
You said bad idea. Go to port. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Opening morning. Or a couple days before, set out some corn and go to port and fucking ice your doe. That way you get that out of your system, and then in the evening, go hunt at the quarry.
But what's killing me is, say I'm sitting in port over a corn pile, and I get a notification on my phone at 6:30. Homeboy just walked by the camera. I would just swanton bomb out of the tree stand and kill
Unhook
myself.
my harness.
Yeah. God.
Fucking swallow my whole arrow. I would just shove it down my throat.
Because I did that last year during the rut.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm going to sit in a new spot. And I sat in a new spot, and I got a notification at like 4:30. Big 8-pointer walks past the camera.
There's that. I think, you know, as much as I'd like the idea of shooting a doe, getting that out of your system, at the end of the day, you just have to make this decision whether you want to kill that buck, if that is your mission, or you want to fucking stack does. And you can do both.
I can do both.
But I think you're right. You would fucking be kicking yourself if he showed up. And I think you need to make him your main priority, especially that first week of season, before that shift happens.
When they disperse from their bachelor groups.
Yes, because now if you're listening to this podcast and you're a newer hunter, and I think we should do a whole podcast about this, but there's so much preparation that you should be doing right now, and there's like these game time things that you need to make. It's almost like when we peaked for a powerlifting meet or for my fight. That last week is like almost the most important week of your training. That's where you're deloading, you're going through the motions of, you're doing the reps for your bench, your squat, your deadlift, you're recovering, you know what I mean? You're doing your water cut. That week is crucial. And for deer hunting, that's now. Yeah. This last like couple weeks before season is crucial. You need to be dialed in. Your cameras, like you should be staying out. You should be dialed in with your bow. You need to be, your stand should be all set. Like everything should be done right now. You know what I mean? You should be dialed in. Everything should be, and if you're not, like you're behind. You're not behind the 8 ball. So, but where was I going with that?
Preparation?
Yes. So I just feel like I totally lost my train of thought there.
Just gotta be ready.
Yeah, you gotta be ready. And for this like time right before season, it's really important to make sure you have all your
Ducks in a row.
Ducks in a row, your P's and Q's, yeah, for sure. And we could do a whole pod about it, but I think it wouldn't be a bad thing to do because we could dive into that for a while, and I don't necessarily want to go down that rabbit hole.
And it's real easy right this time of the season and a couple weeks before this to get all these bucks on camera and think, oh my God, I hit the fucking mother load. Because when they disperse from that batcher group, you might have one of those bucks that sticks around.
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
So the part of the early season is something that you have to be aware of is their summer pattern is going to change. And it depends on where you're at, but if your season opens in September, those first couple weeks, they're still going to be on that summer pattern, maybe even just the first week. So it's a really good time to try to catch those bucks that you had on camera during the summer.
Yeah.
And you need to focus on them now. And because they're going to change their pattern, they're going to be in a different place come end of September, October. So it's a crucial time.
Yeah, you might catch one of those bucks in that batcher group during the rut.
Yeah.
He's going to come back, and he's going to try to find hot dough. Trust me, he will come back.
Yep.
But that, it's tough, man. It's fucking tough. Imagine if the season opened October 1st.
Yeah, it'd be almost like senseless and having cameras out.
Senseless.
Yeah, at least now anyway. But because it's beginning of October and the beginning of September, you're going to have totally different deer.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in different areas. And there's lots of reasons for it. Like bucks in particular, their velvet is sensitive. So they don't want to be in real thick areas banging up their velvet and stuff right now. So they're going to be in actually more open areas. But once that velvet comes off and that testosterone starts to kick in, they don't want to be all buddy-buddy with their boys, you know what I mean? They start going their separate ways. They're loners. The bachelor group's done. And it's a totally new game. And that's why it's so fascinating hunting whitetail is because of how much they're different from one in September, October, November. All three of those months are completely different, and you have to hunt them accordingly. You have to be on your game, but you have to be able to change up and adjust to them, to your quarry, and that's what's so exciting about hunting whitetail, man. I love it.
I love it. Oh, it is. It's life. I can't fucking wait. The countdown is now.
Yeah.
33 friggin' days. And I don't have a bow. Shit. God damn it.
Dude, how does that feel? Like, are you like, do you feel...
I don't feel good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of anxiety.
Oh, man. I got some stuff on here. I got a shooter pass for us.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, first I got a question. Well, we'll do the shooter pass. Walking on an escalator. Are you shooting that? Are you sitting? You get on an escalator. Are you standing or are you walking while it's moving?
Standing.
So you're
lazy piece of shit.
You're shooting the walk or you're passing on the walk.
Yeah. Yeah. On an escalator, I'm standing there waiting. But
you motherfucker.
If it's a moving sidewalk like in airports,
yes,
I'm walking that bitch.
Yes, you're supposed to.
Yes.
And I feel like that even on an escalator. That's why I'm shooting. Like, you walk on that motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to make things faster. It's not supposed to be a fucking crutch to make you a lazy fuck so you can stand there. It's supposed to make it quicker for you to get to the next floor.
I don't think I've ever walked on an escalator.
I know, it's a big thing, and it pisses me off because I'll step on an escalator and this dude just stands there in front of you, and it's like, come on, man. I got a place to be.
Huh.
Yeah. It makes it so much faster. You can fly up them steps, dude.
I love walking on those moving sidewalks in airports.
Oh, man. I feel like my skin color just changed. I'm fucking black, dude. I'm quick. Finally, I'm fast.
Imagine running on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I have. I've done it.
Have you?
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger.
Denver Airport. I was sprinting to try to make my plane.
Denver Airport?
Yep.
I never went to that one.
It's a cool airport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite was Minneapolis.
Never went to that one.
It was like a shopping mall.
Is that where the Mall of America is? Is it in the airport?
I don't think it's in the airport.
No? Okay. Yeah, I think that. I
think it's in Minneapolis, though, I think.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is, anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, when I was younger, for some reason, I always wanted to run up the down escalator.
Oh.
And me and my dad did that one time and pissed a bunch of people off in the mall. Yeah.
Your dad did it with you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
He was like 38 at the time, so.
Yeah. I would like to try that too. Now I'm intrigued. I'm going to Barnes and Noble, dude.
It was difficult.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
People are like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Fucking playing around. We're a bunch of rednecks. Fuck off. We're white trash.
You gotta love it.
Yeah,
Okay, I got a question for you. Are you still a virgin if you do anal? So, like, that's a thing in, like, a lot of
religious
circles. Yeah. I knew a girl.
Did you?
Who would only do anal.
So you have experience with this?
Yes, I do.
That's crazy to me.
Yep.
No, you're not a virgin.
No?
No.
Okay, so I took your fucking booty hole to Pound Town. You're deflowered, but technically, like physically, you're still a virgin.
Yeah, physically.
I mean, if the vagina hasn't been penetrated, but I gotta tell you, I fucking slipped it in there.
Mentally, you're not. Well, they are because they.
In their head, that's their justification. Yeah, it's like a thing in like Mormon culture and some like Muslim, or that's the thing.
I guess.
Yep.
Well, those weird fucking Mormons.
Yeah.
Soaking.
We
talked about that on the very first episode.
Yeah. Was it the first episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, like, they like to. If you haven't watched that, and the mics were pretty bad, so
yeah, they were
sorry
rough.
for that. But the Mormons, that's like a thing where they soak. They'll stick it in, but they won't thrust.
They just sit there.
They just sit there.
Stare at each other.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
You want to try it later?
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, that is just, that's weird, man.
Yeah, that's those people.
Yeah, strange. I'm all for it. I mean,
hey, do your thing.
I like a good soak. Like, sometimes after I'm done, we can soak, and we'll just spoon and lay there. Fucking, whew, I'm tired. I'm out of breath,
I agree with that.
Yeah, we'll just sit there and soak a little,
I wonder how long a soaking session lasts.
Have you ever fell asleep soaking?
I think so, probably.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say fall asleep, passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Passed out is probably a better term.
Yeah, it's a thing. It happens.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Strange.
Odd.
Mm-hmm. Here's a tip for you. If you do have to make some last-minute checks on your cameras and stuff, like getting close to season, rainy day is a good day to do it. Go check it in the rain. Because you got some sound and scent cover with that rain. It's a good time to do it.
My camera quit working again.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you have had a really hard time with these cameras.
July 31st, it turned off this time. So I wasn't getting any pictures.
Wow.
Apparently, I had 35% battery life, and it just completely turned off.
It died.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it died. I don't know.
Oh, you haven't been out there yet?
Well, no, I turned it back on.
Okay.
I went out there Friday.
So it didn't die then? You didn't change batteries?
I changed the batteries.
Oh, okay. So it just
to
died and it wasn't telling you the battery life properly.
I guess. Because it definitely doesn't tell you the battery life properly.
No, I don't think it does that very well either. Because I've had it be like, I've had it hit 10% and then just poop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, shut off July 31st, so I was without picture for 5 days.
Man, who knows what might have happened then.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to post a picture of that buck. He's beautiful. He's got very long tines.
Oh.
Nice tine length.
Just an absolute unit.
Mm.
Fucking unit.
Yes. It's coming, son.
Should we answer Ryan's question?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me read this or you read it because you can read it. I got to fucking spin around. Can you read it?
Yeah, it was pretty much if you didn't have your private land to hunt and you only had public land, how would your strategy change?
Right, and I think Ryan asked this because, well, he's acquired. Well, I mean, not say acquired. Technically, he's gotten permission to hunt some private, but up until this year, he's been solely public land, and he was just asking John, more specifically, not necessarily me, but how John's tactics would change had he only would he only be able to hunt on public land?
Yeah.
So that's a great question, John. What would you change? How would you hunt differently?
I'd be kicking doors down and getting private land. A lot more scouting. A lot more scouting.
So you think that's the Do you think that's the biggest factor in your success is knowing the property you hunt?
100%.
Yeah.
You got to know where you are. You got to.
Yeah.
You got to know where these deer are going, where they're coming from, all that.
I agree.
You can't just, I mean, of course, you can just run into a critter that got bumped.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on public land, you can just run into one day.
Yeah.
Which I've done. But you got to know your land. Gotta.
You got to know how they move across the landscape, where they're eating, where they're sleeping, where they're getting a drink.
I would find the most, probably the furthest off the beaten path I could go. That was a good spot.
Okay, so let's say theoretically, you got a piece of public land, you just lost all your private, and you've never hunted it before. You're looking at it on your cell phone. Where are you looking for when you look at it online on an online map? Like maybe, like for example, like you're just looking at it. What are the things you're looking for? Because that's where you start.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough now that, like, you know, our dads didn't have that option. You know what I mean? There was no fucking Onyx.
Oh, my dad killed so little.
That's why my dad fucking poached. He would fucking hunt on his neighbor's property because it fucking sucked. But it, well, hey, nothing against that,
No,
dude. You know,
hey,
back
do
in the
your
day,
thing.
them boys, dude, I was talking to one of my dad's friends, man, and just some of the stuff that they did, dude, like hunting. I mean, they had some stories. He told me that he killed a deer on public land one time. He rode his bike in, and he said back then he was pushing 300.
Damn.
And he rode a bicycle in like a mile and a half, and he killed this buck. And because he didn't want to drag it, he gutted it, and him and my dad, like, opened it up. They tied the deer's front legs on his handlebars of his bicycle and put, like, his cavity on the seat, and he literally rode the deer
Holy shit.
out of the public land. His
really
back
good
legs
idea.
were dragging, and he was sitting on top of the deer. His front legs were hanging over the handlebars, and he rode the deer out. He said, and he was drunk. They were drinking.
Hell yeah.
And he was
They
like,
sound just like us.
yeah. He said he was riding the bike, the deer out of there. He was like, "Don't shoot, I'm riding on him. Don't shoot."
Dude, that's good.
That's great shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's just fucking, I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine seeing that?
Oh my God, no.
Some fat guy in orange fucking riding a fucking deer.
From like 80 yards away, you'd be like, what the fuck is that?
Riding a deer? Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a bad motherfucker. He lassoed that thing.
I thought that was fucking awesome. I'd love to get him on here one time. He's got some stories, dude.
Get him on.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Shout out to Barry.
Shout out.
But back to my question. Sorry. I went on a little rant there.
That was a tangent.
If you're looking at Onyx maps, never hunted this property before, what things are you looking for your hunt? Like what maybe are you looking at, like, okay, what's the furthest from the parking lot, or like am I looking at like maybe possible pinch points, changes in foliage because they like fucking edges, you know what I mean? Like, what things are you looking for before you go to scout?
My number one is the furthest food source away from the parking lot.
All right, so furthest potential food source.
Yeah.
And for your scouting, or you're going to go in and look there first.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk into the woods and I'm going to try to find the thickest area and not go in because that's probably bedding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to back up. And I'm going to set up in between the food and the bedding, just like private land.
Yep.
Same fucking thing all the time, every time.
But really, you're getting to know the property by hunting it, and
Yeah, of course.
like you're scouting it, and all right, you find this looks good, there's sign here, it's a good setup, but you really got to hunt it and be there,
Yeah.
and see what the deer are doing.
Because there's going to be a lot of trails coming out of that bedding to the food, so you find a trail, get up in it, and you sit there for an afternoon, and you will find the trail that's mainly used.
Yeah. And there's so much like potential, like when you first hunt a property, even whether it's public or private, you're not going to have it dialed in. Like like when we first started hunting port, yes, we went in there and killed deer right away, but we've learned so much about it by hunting it. Like, yeah, you can get a lot done by scouting and even e-scouting, but you really got to hunt the property to really know it and to get dialed in on it. And that's what really goes to the best. But for me, if I'm looking at, I'm pretty much doing the same thing as you, but if when I'm e-scouting, I'm looking for all of that. I'm looking at where is the hardest place to get from the parking lot, because that's likely where bucks are going to be, and deer in general. They're going to be the furthest away from that they can be. Not to say that they won't be right next to the parking lot too, because some of that is a thing too.
Yeah,
because the deer watch people walk in, and I feel like that's becoming more common. Is people aren't afraid to go back now with all these like light stands and fucking super light climbers and one sticks and saddles. Like people are getting further in now, so it's not always as successful as I feel like it may have used to been. But I'm looking for that. I'm looking for edges, honestly. Like especially if it's like big flat land, like down where Ryan's hunting. Like that's what Ryan was saying that he's looking for. If you've got a giant open property and it's flat and you don't have a lot of change in elevation, you got to look for edges. You got to look for transition areas.
They are creatures of the edge.
They are. Who said that?
I don't know.
But that is whoever said that is 100% true.
Yeah.
That's a great slogan. They are creatures of the edge. So you look for maybe where the habitat goes from fucking hardwoods to thick, dense fucking lush undergrowth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that right on that edge is likely a great spot to start. You go look there, you look for sign, and you hunt over it, and that's how you fucking hunt.
I mean, if you're first getting started, it's very overwhelming and it's very difficult. But when you boil it down, it's not that hard.
It's not
that hard.
Because there's a lot of features that can give you success. You know what I mean? It can be terrain features, funnels, food sources. All these things are potential deer hotspots where you can kill some deer. And you can go in and check them, and that's how you do it. That's how you got to do it. So, at the end of the day, the biggest difference between public and private is time, scouting, and getting to know these properties.
Yeah, it's mainly just scouting.
Yeah,
because you're just gonna have more pressure on public. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Now,
you can't use I don't know about other states, but Maryland, you can't put trail cameras on public land.
Yes, you cannot, and you can't leave stand up either.
Yeah.
Which we use climbers mostly anyway.
Yeah.
But now, how would it affect, if you were hunting on public opposed to private, how would it affect your choice in the deer that you would shoot? Would you shoot smaller bucks?
No.
No.
I've let countless spikes and 4-pointers walk on public land.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it would change. It would change a little bit for me.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to like an 8-pointer, I'm probably going to die.
Yeah, like now if I'm hunting on, like say it's rifle season because you get one rifle buck, and if I'm hunting on public, I might shoot a smaller buck because rifle season's so short.
I might smoke a 6er.
Would you?
Probably.
I don't know about a 6er. Maybe. If
It
was
had
a nice
to be a
6,
real nice 6, yeah.
Yeah, if he was a real nice 6, I might smoke him. Because it's like I got 2 weeks and this tag is tag soup, so I might as well fill it. You know what I mean? I just told him private, I'm absolutely not doing that.
We're definitely spoiled.
Yeah.
Me a lot more. Well, maybe not.
We both got pretty decent private land to hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, where I hunt gets fucking poached a lot, and there's several dudes that hunt it. But honestly, most of the guys in there, other than the poachers, don't hunt a whole lot in bow season.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, other than the poachers, like bow season, it's like me and one other guy, or 2 other guys.
Yeah, I don't go in there. I think the first time I went in there last year was muzzleloader.
Yeah.
Mid October.
Hey Sam, how about some darts? Sam, can we have some darts?
Some what?
Some smokes. Thank you.
$13.
I'll give you $1.
I'll give you $1.
Give
Give it a spank on the butt.
I get a few beers deep, and I want to fucking burn one, dude.
Yeah, it's. I'm so grateful that finally we have private land.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, like Ryan's been hunting this is his 3rd year. He's already acquiring some private land. If you're only hunting public, like some people enjoy it, and I get it. Like it's more challenging, it's cool. So like some people don't want it, but if you really want your own piece of private, like not to own, but just permission to hunt, like you can get it. It just takes time and work. You got to talk to people. Yeah. You got to ask permission. I mean, you can do it.
You never know. You just drive up and knock on a fucking door.
Yeah, and we talked about doing it like last year or something, but honestly, it's like
it's not needed.
We got good spots. Like why?
Did we get a new package, sure?
If we leave port, or if we lost port, I would absolutely be working for getting some private, you know. But that's a bridge that hopefully we don't ever have to cross.
Yeah, for real, dog.
Because I love that property, man.
Yeah,
go ahead.
you blocked me in, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the pod. Hey, listeners.
Sam says hello.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know. Public land's tough. And the hunting public guys, they make it look so easy. That's television, you know.
Yeah, and they're also hunting public really good fucking... Not against them. They're great dudes, good channel, awesome content. But hunting public in fucking... I can't remember where they were. Fucking Missouri or... Yeah. I think it's a little different than hunting public in Cecil County, Maryland. And other places, too. I'm not saying you can't do exactly what they do here.
Yeah. You had good luck on public last year. Fair Hill?
Yeah, Fair Hill. I've had eyes on some great bucks last year on public land, solely doing like the same stuff that they're doing. And now they're great bucks for Maryland. I wasn't shooting no fucking bucks like them guys were shooting on public land. They just don't exist here.
They don't.
Very few and far between anyway. But it's the same principles we can apply here, and we can shoot a nice Maryland buck, a fucking 125-inch buck on public land last year that I almost had a shot on, and then the buck that I did kill on public land was a very nice buck. He wasn't Pope and Young, but he was. Had he had another antler, he might have made it. But he was a 7. His one side only had 3 points. But I'm still very proud of that buck. Great buck, good buck for public land, and
long shot,
hell of a shot. What was that? 45 yards?
Was it? I don't remember what you told me. I know it was a long one.
I think it was 45.
For some reason, I thought you said 60.
Maybe I shot that doe at 56.
Oh yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking about.
Yep, that's what you're thinking. No, he was a long shot, but it wasn't. The longest shot I took last year was that doe out in the cornfield, 56. That was the longest shot I've ever took.
The longest one I ever took was 40 on that doe that I iced 2 years ago out in the soybean.
Oh God. You got that on video?
Yeah, Tacticam.
Yeah, that was the longest ever, huh?
Yeah, 4
You
years.
could easily stretch out further, but you just haven't had a need to, right? Yeah.
I shot one last year. I think she was 42, but she ducked, and I hit no man's land, and she lived.
Yeah, that's the thing about those long shots. Like, do I feel confident making a 50-yard shot? Absolutely. I did it from my saddle today and fucking punched the 12 ring, but on a live animal, it's not a shot I really want to take.
No, absolutely not.
Can I? Yes. Will I if I feel confident in it? Sure. But it's few and far between, man. Most of my shots, I really like them to be under 30.
It's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Yeah, under 30.
Yeah, less than 30. 30's even starting to get its shot.
It's pushing it. Yeah. It is.
That deer, they can jump that fucking string, man, and they can turn the last minute. Like, you just don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, my spot at the hole in the fence, it's a 30-yard shot, and I've spotted two deer at that distance.
Yeah, from them dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ballpark when you're shooting at a live animal. I'll tell you what, shooting from a saddle is pretty fucking cool.
You looked cool up there.
Didn't I?
Yeah. Just dripping and cool.
Yeah. I was fucking soaking wet, sweating. It was fucking hot. I was fucking wetter than a lesbian at a blind lesbian at a fish market. I was soaked up there, man. But and I was trying to rip this branch down, so my arms were fucking gassed from fighting with that branch, but I still made good shots. That was kind of cool because it was like realistic, you know, because I was shaking and fucking.
Yeah, I'm glad Kevin is fully embracing the climber.
Yeah, he's really liking it.
Yeah,
Brandy too.
Yeah, Kevin was like up and down the tree like 3 or 4 times, I think, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, he's liking it. He's like, yeah, I like mine. Like lean back a little bit. He's starting to get like preference, you know, on how he likes it set up and everything.
I don't like it lean back at all. I want that thing flat.
Yeah, I like a little lean back, just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
For comfort, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I got a long all-day sit.
You can recline back like a lazy boy.
Take me a nice nap.
Yeah, and I give you a suggestion today on how to take a nap in your saddle.
Yeah. So that's pretty sweet. In the saddle. Now, I'm not saying, like, if I fell asleep, I would probably, like, roll to the side, but you can stand on your platform and lean back into your saddle and then, like, cross your arms and rest your head on your bridge.
Yeah.
The rope that goes in between your, like, I don't know.
Saddle on the tree.
Yeah. And, like, you can just kind of sit like that and relax. It's pretty sweet. I could definitely see myself taking a nap like that.
Until your knees buckle, and then you feel like you're going to fall out of the tree.
Yeah. It would be terrifying. Yeah! This fucking giant buck takes off. Springs out of the way.
Oh, God.
Ugh. Man.
We're getting so close, Daddy. I can't friggin' wait.
God. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope your season is as close as ours is. And most states open September, October, so it's wherever you are, it's getting close. Our time is short. And bloodshed will begin soon.
Hopefully I have a bow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, old man, I'm coming for your crossbow.
Pops, I need the crossbow, dude.
Please.
Would that probably be what you'll do if the bow's not ready?
Probably.
Yeah, it's a good option. I mean, you're gonna hate it.
I'm going to hate myself.
I'm gonna hate you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, like, if that big buck came in the range with the crossbow and I killed it with a crossbow, it wouldn't have the same luster.
Yeah. I think you'd still really enjoy it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
But it would always be a crossbow buck.
yeah.
You know?
Shot that thing with a gun.
Yep. And it wouldn't have the same. It's the same thing for like a rifle. Like it's just not as. I'm sure a crossbow is definitely much better than a rifle as far as like I don't know, the thrill of it. But I don't know. We just have such a connection to our compounds. I mean, it's like a part of me, man. That thing.
Yeah. I'm looking at the empty space where it should be right now, and I want to cry.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be all right, John. You'll get it back in time. It's gonna work out. You got anything else? We hit 120 almost, so.
I got nothing.
All right, brother. Well, our time is getting short. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are all ready. I hope you guys are getting dialed in. And keep coming back. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you give us 5-star review on Spotify. Nothing less.
Nothing less. Don't even review it.
Like, subscribe on YouTube. And, yeah, maybe even hit that follow button so you get notifications when we post a new
hit the little
vid.
bell.
Yeah, hit that little bell. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you very soon.
Bye.